Brought to you by the new Arachnophoria Kickstarter, a coffee table book of all things spider. Look at the sexy cover. Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy as Russian fucking spiders. Spies? Come on. You like what you buy. All right, let's do this shit. We are literally 3/4 of the way done. Or is it 2/3? 2/3. 8 pages. 8 sections out of 12. We are in the final quarter. Third act. So our second act ended with John Jameson turning into a werewolf and ditching out on his party. As always, let's recap the last 2 pages. Here we go. Click. Always recap. Let's recap. Page 15. As the agents take off victorious, we transition to the camera footage that was taken by the now dead hitman. We see the view of the camera from a dark chamber of spectators watching it unfold. I still think she should have sent us. And what would that have accomplished, my monstrous friend? We don't have the equipment or expertise to handle your friend's condition. But whoever is carrying that cargo does. That bastard Fury. Are you sure it's the doctor with them? I have my sources. We see the close-up shot of a blinking beacon tracing the air cruiser back to the old ruins of Capital City, on the new twisted map of the U.S. wastelands and surroundings. In the glow of the blinking beacon, we can see that whoever our mystery villain is, he is talking to the Vulture and the Sandman, who now seem to be his flunkies. And soon we will have their locations. Let S.H.I.E.L.D. do all the heavy lifting of putting your colleague back together. And once they are finished, we will strike. We shall have your leader. I shall have my vengeance. We cut to Peter waking up in the medical bay of the bunker under the old White House. His blurry vision catches the shapely figure of a blonde nurse, but in the blurriness, it looks like she is holding a weapon instead of a syringe. Why is it every time I wake up from being knocked out, there's always some dangerous figure about to inject me with something terrible or drain me of something sacred? Peter's vision comes back, and we see that he is being attended to by Nurse Liz Allen, aka Molten Lily, who is walking over to him with a fresh mug of steaming hot tea. Caption across the panel introduces her. Liz Allen, aka Molten Lily, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., former field medic. Good evening, Mr. Parker. Now that you're awake, Agent Fury will be expecting you. Call me Peter. Wearing an old presidential robe, Peter enters the main chamber of the bunker, holding his tea while inspecting the rigging that Fury has set up. We see the center of the chamber now holds the now rigged up bacta tank containing the living brain of Dr. Octopus. He is floating vibrantly but is connected to a heavy series of cables and filters, like he is being strung up for torture or experimentation. Next to the tank is a large monitor spiking with vitals and sensors as we see the experiment and surgery is almost ready to start. What? Are almost ready to begin. Next to the tank and the monitors, we see the medical bed holding Tony Stark, who is also rigged up to computers as he continues to adjust this risky medical procedure. If it isn't Spider-Man. We removed the comlink from one of your cavities. I'll wait till you finish your tea before I tell you which one. I'll leave it to mystery, thanks. This is good tea. It should be. Agent Clemmer brought it from your place. Close up on Peter up against the back of the tank, staring directly at Dr. O. So what have you done to him? Like any other villain or scoundrel? At the end of the day, Dr. O, as he is called, is a businessman with a desire to be placed in a normal body, or in the lack of that option to be involved in creating a cure. So it's a simple matter of trading his expertise for our connections in our lab. So if and when he saves Stark, he can continue to work here with us on a new shell. Plus, his own ego can't turn down the chance of operating in the president's house. Or basement, technically. Hey, kid. Close up on Peter and Tony Stark. Yes, Mr. Stark? I just want to make sure you're cool with this. I know you and this guy have history. Hey, a knight's code, remember? Besides, there's a lot of people counting on you. It's a small trade. Counting on us, Peter. When this is over, if it's ever over, we should talk about your future. Close up on Peter and Nick Fury, who walks over with Liz Allen as they are both wearing operating scrubs. First things first, Mr. Stark. Let's make it to breakfast. You ready to suit up, Peter? Why, are we going after Venusville? Maybe later, but first duty calls. Oh, wait. You mean, but what about Dr. O? Well, he'll be walking us through it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any hands at the moment, or any other useful body parts. Nurse Lily here is a field veteran. Did tours in Corto Maltese and San Marte, and I could hold my own with a blade. However, we are short-staffed, and you said you were a scientist. We pan up to a shot of Empire City floating among the clouds, gleaming in the oncoming full moon carrying over the horizon. Caption across the panel reads, "Meanwhile, as a full moon crosses over Empire City, an astronaut finally enjoys his homecoming." We pan into the rooftop penthouse of Mayor Jameson, who is throwing a party for his son, Colonel John Jameson, who has recently come out of his coma after coming back from the moon. Reporter Betty Brant is on hand, as well as the rest of the staff and prominent members of Empire City society. Live from the mayor's mansion, this is Betty Brant, Now Magazine, and we're here tonight for the official homecoming of Colonel John Jameson. From what we've learned, Colonel Jameson's mission to the moon base was to help set up the new fueling stations. These stations these lunar gas pumps, instead of lunar gas stations, we said fueling stations, was to head up the new fueling stations. These lunar gas pumps will be essential to set up. These lunar gas pumps will be essential to set up further colonization towards Mars and beyond. Colonel Jameson was also in charge of collecting rare lunar samples as a way of developing a new kind of fuel. We understand that due to the nature of the samples and specimens obtained on the mission, that Colonel Jameson was required to be in strict quarantine. But this reporter believes that after one night reunited with his famous father, that he might just go back. We see the floating, the flashing of cameras and clanking of glasses as Colonel John slips out of the party and towards a private terrace. He is silent and alone while the moonlight gleams off the medals on his uniform. You okay, Colonel? When Colonel Jameson turns around, he sees his father, the mayor, looking at him with pride and holding 2 cigars. What? Oh, hello, Father. Sir? Ah, cut it. No one's here. I've been saving these for this moment. Private reserve. Taken out of the humidor of the King of Corto Maltese. Private reserve. Taken out of the humidor of the King of Corto Maltese. My last 2. My only 2. Mayor Jameson and his son both share a smoke and admire the moon. I'm sorry if this is too soon, son. I'm sorry if this is too soon, son. Too soon, son. No, I get it, Dad. Duties of leadership, lack of personal space. Can't be any worse than a coma. I didn't want to bring it up. I figured if you ever wanted to talk about what happened up there, I will when I remember. Right now, I just want to enjoy the downtime. Remember why I love being alive. Maybe taking a Giants game. Mayor Jameson leaves his son alone as he heads back to the party. Say no more, kid. The owner of the team is downstairs. Just make sure to save the label on that thing when you're done. Now Magazine's doing a feature on me. We see Colonel John smiling at his father while he takes another puff of the cigar, while listening to him bragging to Betty Brant. Check out this label, Brant. Corto Maltese, Private Reserve. That was a big time, Jonah. How has the Colonel been adjusting to life post-quarantine? And was the dig for lunar soil successful? By any chance did he happen upon the infamous blue area? I see you've been reading up on Dr. Madison's theories. She may be easy on the eyes, Brant, but you know how they are. How they think. Over the border. But you know how they are. How they think. Over the border. Suddenly, as the moon glows upon him and shines off his medals, he suddenly starts to convulse and stagger. Well, she is from Metropolis. That doesn't answer the question, Mr. Mayor. What happened to your son on the moon? Betty, come on. It's a party. We see a small final panel shot of the expensive cigar and label hit the ground, still burning, while all we hear is the roar of a werewolf flooding the panel. Oh, I love it. And that brings us, ladies and gentlemen, to page 17 and 18, today's assignment as we scrape below the realm of 13,000. Can we do it? Will it be done? He will join us or die, Your Highness. I need a drink. Let me play this video.
Hey boys, we're here today to talk about Arachnophoria. It's the newest Kickstarter art book from Faro's Lounge. The only publisher who makes coffee table books, fit for a true galactic warlord. With 10 variant covers, ranging from sexy safe to OMG. Nobody captures obsession like Faro's Lounge. And for this Kickstarter, you have a choice of interiors. There's the traditional covers and commissions. And then there's the Skynet version, which is 32 versions of us. And even more of us when we hit the stretch goal. Faro's Lounge, because your comics are fucking boring. So pledge your allegiance on the new Kickstarter. We'll be waiting.
Yes, we will. All right, back to work. Let's do some mining, gentlemen. So where we have it right now, John Jameson just leapt off the terrace there. He is a werewolf. Apparently the moon spores are out of his body, but there was something left over. And we just did a full open heart surgery on Tony Stark, instructed by the living brain, Dr. O. We are ridiculous. We're having fun. We are sci-fi supernatural. We're a little anime realism bent. And now we've got, how many pages left to go? 8 pages to go. We've written 16 pages of our script. This is the third act. So we have ended the second act well. We got an astronaut turning into a werewolf, and we have open heart surgery. We have left some villains out there in Venusville. So what do we do with these last 8 pages? How do we close this third chapter right? Last time, in our first AracKnight novel, we closed out with Spider-Man finding out about his parents, about Norman Osborn ordering the hit, all these revelations. But now we're going for 5 volumes. This is not the penultimate chapter. This is the middle chapter. Essentially, this is the halfway point of our story. However, we're trying to frame it. So let's figure out what we're doing here. So that's where we are with our story. Obviously, we want to come back to SHIELD headquarters under the White House after our surgery. Let's do some mining, because I have no idea what I want to do right now. So it always helps to do some mining sometimes when we're stuck. Where do we leave off here? That's right. The Green Goblin, who is not Harry fucking Osborn, and Silvermane are scheming on each other, saying whoever captures and kills Spider-Man first should be the one in charge of rackets in New York City. The Goblin's always greener. Okay, so we have, remember, Tony Stark's coming out of surgery. John Jameson's a fucking werewolf. Dr. O is trapped at SHIELD headquarters helping them do the surgery. And Dr. O, in order in effort to stay alive and stay stabilized, is working for SHIELD. Helping them save the life of one Tony Stark. All right, so what do we got here? We got to catch up here. Spider-Man's trapped in a bubble. The Green Goblin wants to be the crime boss of all New York, so in order to do that, he's got to kill Spider-Man. Silvermane has the loyalty of all the gangsters because they think the Goblin's a freak like the Joker in The Dark Knight. So they're trying to kill him. Spider-Man breaks out of his busted fucking net. Cripes, I'm falling too fast, gonna land in that dumpster. All right, we've done the dumpster thing before. The gangsters are coming after him. They're aiming at him. They're gonna try and shoot him and kill him. All right, boys, let's bring him in. Silvermane's gonna love us. They got Spider-Man all tied up, but then he busts out. He wakes up. He fucking tosses him out the car. He smashes the guys' heads together. They try to shoot him. He rips off the fucking steering wheel, wraps around their fucking skulls. She's getting pissed because Peter's supposed to be there, and he is. Surgical consent forms. All right. So Aunt May's in surgery. The Goblin's still after him. He's still fucking with this guy under the hood. We're supposed to assume that it's the doctor under the hood, but it's not the doctor under the goddamn hood. They drag this stupid fucking story out. It wasn't too bad because I liked the idea that this therapist, in listening to all his stories, did become obsessed. It's not a horrible story. They just, as you get older, you realize they drink this fucking thing out for many issues. They're all waiting because they always got to splice in some fucking Aunt Mary Jane goddamn Aunt May fucking stories. All anyone truly wants in this life is to find a place in the sun. At home, I was the center of Aunt May and Uncle Ben's life. Someone special at school. It was just the opposite. I've never been able to formulate an honest opinion of myself. I've never been able to find out just who I really am. But it's the searching that makes the finding so sweet. All right, well, that's nice. What do we got here? New York is the entertainment capital of the world. Case in point, the new Disney movie at Radio City Music Hall. The Radio City Rockettes. Oh, what's going on here? Silvermane is enjoying a night out. And that's when the goblin blows into the theater and tries to kill him. The Grey Panther career is over. Here's a call for you in the hall, sir. You want him to what? Have a heart. Hey, Robbie, okay? I wish I had Pete. Then I wouldn't have to say this. There's some sort of riot going on in Radio City, Pete. Jonah wants you to take photos. You're kidding. Actually, Pete, it might not be such a bad idea. You something to keep you occupied till your aunt wakes up. Okay. All right, they knock him over. He rips over. Oh, they dragged this shit out. This fucking riot at Radio City Music Hall. The goblins running around. Spider-Man's got to change. They're shooting at the fucking rooftops. They're shooting at the rooftops. You little fool, you've stumbled right into my path. And here is where you stumble out of my path, Silvermane. Permanently. All right, Goblin sparks. They hit him off the thing. Spider-Man jumps in. He fucks this guy up. He fucks that guy up. Everybody's getting fucked up. So it's a fight between Silvermane, Green Goblin, and Spider-Man. Silvermane's holding his own against two superpowered individuals. You got to give the man credit. But where does Silvermane come into our story? Can we use him? Is he the fucking guy running this fucking Venusville? Now you've really done it. We're falling. And they're falling from the roof. The strain of the webbing. He cuts himself loose. And that's who we're supposed to think, oh shit, it's really Harry Osborn, which means Bart Hamilton, the stupid fucking therapist, the whole time has been the Green Goblin. That's what's going on in the life of fucking Spider-Man right now. Did we get anything out of that? The idea is we're going through 6 issues right now because there's 3 monthly titles. So if we were kids at home with a Spider-Man subscription, we'd be getting 3 issues of Spider-Man a month. And that's how we're going to play it chronologically. So the idea is if our goal is to write 2 pages, 6 panels each, 12 panels, technically each comic book should provide 2 panels worth of material. Did we get 2 panels worth of material in there? Does the math work out? Does the math work out? We just did the open heart surgery on Tony Stark. Do we want to show the open heart surgery? We kind of got the gist of it. And what are we going to next? We've got 8 more pages of story in this particular chapter. What are we going to? What are we getting to? What do we want? What do we make it interesting? Why can't you sit still? Why are you being restless? You're aggravating Daddy. What are you doing? Chill. It's too hot out. It's way too fucking hot right now. We're not going to Starbucks till later. Talking to my dog. All right. People's Liberation Front. We have to get into who runs Venusville. Questions, questions. All we have is questions. Open heart surgery. The werewolf. We don't have to get back to John the werewolf. We just know he's bolting off. He's a fucking werewolf right now. He could be a heroic werewolf. We just know he just busted up. He gave us a good transition scene out of page 16, which caught us up to another character we can introduce later on into our menagerie of characters. And it gave us a nice transition to, it could be meanwhile 24 hours later. Remember, whoever's running Venusville, they're not attacking right now. They even said, let's shield rebuild Dr. O. We don't have the facilities to do it. And we're a hidden fucking city in the mountains. Okay. I got nothing out of that issue. We have them coming out of surgery. So is Peter outside? Is he, you can have them talk about Lincoln. If they're standing outside the White House, Lincoln used to go out there every day and wait for snipers to pick him off. I could play with that. All right, I like this. I like this. Okay. We see the sun. We see the sunrise over the Potomac River, over the ruins of D.C., Washington, D.C., Potomac River. We see the ruins of the White House as the sun, as the rising sun bathes it in an orange creamsicle like haze. Caption: across the panel reads. Meanwhile, 24 hours after performing his first open heart surgery. Because the idea is, did he need to go get Dr. fucking Strange? Should we have walked Dr. Stephen Strange to the scene? No, we didn't. He's got Liz Allen. She's a field medic. Meanwhile, 24 hours after performing his first open heart surgery. A hero reflects on his journey. Meanwhile, 24 hours after performing his first open heart surgery. No, I don't see. A hero reflects on his journey. That's cheesy. Meanwhile, 24 hours after performing his first open heart surgery. Close up on Spider Man. The close up on Spider Man perched. The close up on Spider Man perched upon the roof of the old White House. The rising sun perched in that famous crouching spider pose. I like that. We close up on Spider Man perched in that famous crouching spider pose upon the roof of the old White House. He is silently brooding while enjoying the sunrise. Shouldn't be it shouldn't be the roof. Nah, it should be the roof. Upon the roof above the uneven roof of the old White House ruins. He is silently brooding while enjoying the sunrise. Fury joins him off panel. I like the idea of Fury telling him a story. during the first Civil War. You know, during the first Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln, President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning, during the first Civil War. President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning. Johnny Fury joins him off panel. He's silently brooding while enjoying the sunrise. Nick Fury joins him. During the first Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning, grab his cup, grab his mug, fresh hot Yankee coffee, grab his mug of fresh hot Yankee coffee, stand in that exact same spot. So would it be the roof on the uneven front porch of the old White House room? Yes. Nick Fury stands by, smoking a cigar. He's always smoking a cigar. During the first Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning, grab his mug of fresh hot Yankee coffee, and stand. Nick Fury shouldn't be standing there. Nick Fury joins him. During the first Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning, grab his mug of fresh hot Yankee coffee, and stand in that exact same spot. Stand in that exact same spot, staring across the river, staring across the river, what he journaled, staring across the river at what he journalized, what he transcribed, what he quoted, what he what. During the first Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning, grab his mug of fresh hot Yankee coffee, stand in that exact same spot, staring across the Potomac, at what he transcribed, in his journals. Staring across the Potomac at what he transcribed in his journals as nest of rebel fireflies. During the first Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning, grab his mug of fresh hot Yankee coffee, and stand in that exact same spot, staring across the Potomac at what he transcribed in his journals as a nest of rebel fireflies. Each one trained and drilled with one purpose. Wait till you get a clear shot. Each one of them, most of them were young farm boys. Some were Irish immigrants. Some were Irish immigrants who got off on the wrong port. Some were Irish immigrants who got off on the wrong port. Not a one of them would ever take the shot. During the first Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln would wake up every morning, grab his mug of fresh hot Yankee coffee. So I need fresh because I'm obviously saying fresh first for some reason. Grab his fresh mug of hot Yankee coffee and stand in that exact same spot, staring across the Potomac, what he transcribed in his journals as a nest of rebel fireflies. Snipers. Why isn't snipers capitalizing? Snipers. Each one trained and drilled. Each one trained and drilled with one purpose. Each one trained and drilled. Each one trained and drilled with one command. Wait till you get a clear shot. Most of them were young farm boys. Some were Irish immigrants who got off on the wrong port. Not a one of them would ever take the shot. Not a one of them. Not a one of them would ever take the shot. Not a one of them would ever take the shot. Not a one of them would ever take the shot. Some Irish immigrants who got off on the wrong port. Each one trained and drilled with one command. Wait till you get a clear shot. Kill the tyrant Lincoln. Save the empire. Kill the tyrant Lincoln. Save the empire. Most of them were young farm boys. Some Irish immigrants who got off on the wrong port, but not a one of them would ever take the shot. Close up on Spider-Man and Fury. So was Lincoln baiting them? Or did he have a death wish? Did he have a death wish? So was Lincoln baiting them? Or did he have a death wish? You know, stresses of war. I'd like to believe it was because he felt the bullets. He felt the bullets would never reach him. I like to believe it was because he felt. Legend says. Legend says Lincoln. Legend says Lincoln knew he was meant for a greater purpose. Legend says Lincoln knew he was meant for a greater purpose. And he stood here every morning to prove that point, daring them to choose their destiny. Logic says his Secretary of War. Logic says his Secretary of War told him those bullets would never make it across the fucking river. Like legend says Lincoln knew he was meant for a greater purpose when he stood here every morning to prove that point, daring them to choose their destiny. Logic says his Secretary of War told him those bullets would never make it across the fucking river. Fury walks back inside, leaving Spider-Man in a large puff of smoke, staring at what looks like a deep Easter egg slash stranger across the river. Fury walks back inside, leaving Spider-Man in a large puff of smoke, staring at what looks like a deep Easter egg stranger across the river. Almost like he sees a ghost. Logic says the Secretary of War told him those bullets would never make it across the fucking river. I like that line. I like that line. Doc made it through. Doc made it through, kid. Doc made it through, kid. He did good. Stark made it through, kid. He did good. We'll keep Dr. O. We'll keep Dr. O busy working on the greater good. Nah, we'll bring that up after. Stark made it through, kid. You did good. Now quit posing for the fireflies. Come inside. Agent Clemmer. Agent Clemmer stole some of your uncle's pancake batter. Now quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. Agent Clemmer stole some of your uncle's pancake batter. Stark made it through, kid. You did good. Now quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. Agent Clemmer stole some of your uncle's pancake batter. That's a stupid line. Now quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. She's just Clemmer's making pancakes. So that's the whole thing. She probably got it. It's implying that she might have fucked his uncle. Fury walks back inside, leaving Spider-Man in a large puff of smoke, Staring at what looks like a deep Easter egg stranger across the river, almost like he sees a ghost. Stark made it through, kid. You did good. Now quit posing for the fireflies. And come inside. Clemmer's making pancakes. So now we got to get them back inside for a mission. All right, so now we're back here at the White House. He's brooding. He just performed open heart surgery. Now quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. Clemmer's making pancakes. Is it the ghost of Norman Osborn? We got to do some more mining. We're going to chronologically as opposed to story. So let's see what we can dig at a Marvel team up. We started doing this one by accident last class, but this counts for this class. Where we brought in the idea of Citrusville. We got to go backwards a little bit though. Got to start from the beginning. Giant size man thing. Right. It's the man thing. So now we know what we get here. Spider-Man and Mary Jane, Peter and Mary Jane are at the circus. Live from Citrusville. He's in a habitat and Spider-Man's flipping out because this ain't right. They want to see him locked up like a fucking circus freak. He goes to see the owner of the circus. He says, fuck off, dude, all right? It's my circus freak. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I'll beat him with a goddamn bat. I'll make him perform fucking orgies. I don't give a shit. And they come in and say, dude, this ain't right. They say, look, we found this fucking guy burning on the side of the goddamn road at some jerkwater town named Citrusville, which we'll use as our port for the Disney Death Star, which we put in there already. Owner of the circus didn't care. He said, look, I'll pin the freak up in a fucking box and I'm going to let people look at him and pay a couple of bucks. So Spider-Man webs him up, sends out his flunky there, that John Hammond dude from like Jurassic Park. They're flying on the little swamp plane across the Everglades. They want to get the man-thing home. Take a deep breath, man-thing. That's what I do for a living, youngster. I fly Kurt and his family down here every year, and he knows I'll transport anything if the money's right. Oh, Kurt Connors. All right. Remember, we also have Kurt Connors. Forgot about Kurt fucking Connors. You know how funny that is? I forgot that we had Kurt Connors, too. We eventually need to do something with that dude. You can't just turn back into the lizard again that easily because, again, all these spores and everything ate all the lizard DNA out of him. We kind of just left him there for a while. We could bring him back later on. He doesn't need to come back now. You could say, no, I understand I have you to thank for my transformation. Have there been any other attacks? Not for now. It was about regeneration. We could use him as a Venom symbiote. We can use fucking John Jameson. We could bring the symbiotes in AracKnight Rises. That could be your whole symbiote alien thing. The blue area of the moon. We could do all that cool cosmic shit. But definitely not in this fucking volume. At least not yet. Alright, Citrusville. Gotta do some mining. We got the seaplane here. The seaplane is shot down. Spider-Man shoots out a little web ball to help them land. Everybody's safe in the web parachute. And the man-thing is back in his swampy home, the Marvel's version of the Swamp Thing. Originally, when I thought we were bringing him home to die, I figured poking around here a day or two. It was something crazy lodge in the swamp, but we like Citrusville. We are opening up our universe, more cities and more kingdoms. Well, we got a hot chick in the fucking jean shorts. Ooh, what do we got? We got chicks. We got chicks. I am despair. Oh, good God. Help Jennifer Cale. He's brought one man in a mortal boot. The Quack Beast. Alright, so Spider-Man's gonna be fighting fucking Dracula. Oh, we got a big tall tower. Here we go. And because Man-Thing is a freakish synthesis of science gone mad and age-old mystic power, his perception of reality is quite different. Where Spidey sees a weather-beaten shack, Man-Thing sees an obsidian tower, rearing a mile high above the swamp. Alright, that sucks. Oh shit, half-naked chicks. What do we got here? And as for the two helpless backwoods types, they are hardly. The old man is the technically dead grand sorcerer of legend, Dotmere the Enchanter. The girl is his disciple, Jennifer Kale. Jennifer Kale is wearing some freaky fucking clothes. We may have to do a slave Jennifer Kale. Slave Jennifer Kale and Frozen Man thing. And Jennifer Kale could be another S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Let's get that in there. Remember, we got all sorts of sexy S.H.I.E.L.D. agents in our notes here. Another Bonder. Jennifer Kale. Swamp Rat. She'd be aka Swamp Rat. Citrusville. Yes. Jennifer Kale and Man Thing. And the sorceress, Dakmir, the enchanter. Yeah, might as well get his name in here. Dakim, the enchanter. Sorcerer. He's spelled fucking sorcerer. There you go. Back to my notes. Notes and folks to keep you happy. No need to hold the remote control. All right. Thing you gotta say is they're getting all the hotties inside those team up books. So Spider-Man punches at this fucking Dracula guy. The Dracula guy chokes Spider-Man. Man thinks he's got to come in and help out. The echoes scream and Thodic senses suddenly ravaged by the one emotion he above all. Fear. Feel my power, human. Feel the awesome, unstoppable power of despair. Oh god, his name is Despair. Oh, you shithead. Where do they come up with these fucking guys? Anyway, he's smacking the shit out of fucking Spider-Man. Man-Thing gets involved. Suddenly, Man-Thing's on fucking fire again. So Man-Thing's pretty goddamn useless. If I'm gonna say. And now Dak with the Enchanter's up here. He's stroking his fucking white beard. He's like, Jennifer Kale, take those juicy, fucking delicious fucking She-Ra tits out and get in there into the fight. Twisting our souls into shaping so that it has done its demonic work. We will be reborn in his image, servants of evil. Our universe-spanning powers pledged for all time to the service of despair. The pit of despair. Don't even think. All right, Jennifer and Dak makes resistance. Spider-Man punches this guy out. They're going to start some fights. But then Spider-Man gets electrocuted by despair and choked in the mud, punched in the side of the fucking head. Mud everywhere. Man-Thing comes in. He's still on fucking fire. No matter every time Man-Thing gets involved, they set him on fire. So he says, Man-Thing, if you're going to be set on fire, just jump on him while you're on fire like fucking Jason. Short circuits his memory. Dakmir, what's happened? Despair has grown wild. Peter and Dakmir are fighting in the fucking goddamn swamp match. It's a goddamn swamp brawl, ladies and gentlemen. Jennifer Kale's like, well, listen, why don't I just show off my juicy fucking delicious tits in this fucking sexy ass outfit they got me dressed in? And that'll distract Despair long enough. We'll turn to some fucking dancing ghosts. We'll turn it to crystals. We'll drop all over them like fucking glass. And look what we got here. Everybody glittering in the moonlight like newborn stars. My web umbrella will protect us from all these glasses. And then they all disappear. And just like that, everybody's gone. And Spider-Man's left there by himself, sitting in the swamp with the Man-Thing. Okay. So that was just some random adventure. Into the swamps that did nothing for continuity or storylines. That always kind of annoys me with some of these one-offs. There's no fucking story. Peter travels to Los Angeles to investigate the collapse of the Champions, LA's own superhero team. But will former member Angel be forthcoming with answers? Plus Rampage on the streets. Oh, good lord. All right, what do we got? Ugh. What do we got? What do we got? What did we get out of that issue? Just get our picture back. Just at least stare at the picture. Oh, pretty picture. Whoa. All right. Stark made it through, kid. You did good. I quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. Clemmer's making pancakes. What does Spider-Man see across that river? Can we play into that? Does Spider-Man see Norman Osborn? Do we bring Norman Osborn back yet? I quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. Clemmer's making pancakes. Do we have another transition out of there? Should we reveal the guy who's behind Venusville? What do we have here to use that we're mining out of these Spider-Man issues? Remember, we don't have to restrict ourselves to 6 issues. We can keep going if we're not getting what we need here. We can even pull some fucking annuals. Fury walks back inside. All right, so we set it up. Stark is fine. We're back here at the White House. Do we go into our next mission? And what is our next mission? Do we do some more expand on what Dr. O is doing? Dr. O is doing it. Like, the idea is that Dr. O is essentially working for them. Could Dr. O figure out a way to use mind control? Dr. O. Stark made it through, kid. You did good. Quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. Clemmer's making pancakes. What is Dr. O doing? What is Dr. O working on? Dr. O is now their prisoner. What can we do to get further that mythology? We've got some mystery villain who's harboring Sandman and the Vulture nearby, who has an agenda with Fury. Obviously. We can have it be Red Skull. We haven't decided who that is yet. We should get there by the end of these 8 pages. But again, we'll see where the story takes us. But as of right now, I still don't have much here that I got to. I'm going to keep mining until I get to those next panels. Fury walks back inside, leaving Spider-Man a large puff of smoke. Okay, he says, Stark made it through, kid. You did good. All right, so Peter was waiting. He was worried. We've established that. Stark is fine. Gotta go back inside. Clemmer's making pancakes. And what do we have Dr. O doing? So what I'm trying to figure out right now is when Peter goes back inside to get his breakfast, we got to get some exposition here. We got to get our next mission, our closing mission for this particular story. And now we got to figure out what the fuck it is. Stark made it through, kid. You did good. Now quit posing for the fireflies and come inside. Clemmer's making pancakes. So what's going on? What's the mission? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the mission? What's Dr. O doing? What do they know about Venusville? Let's see what we can get. And the third title in Peter Parker's life, The Spectacular Spider-Man, which brings us to Los Angeles. Should we have Peter having to take Stark back to Los Angeles for his recovery? Nah, he's doing his recovery there. They can do the fucking surgery there. They can do the recovery here. All right, Peter's racing across town. 10 a.m. Los Angeles time. Bleary-eyed and suffering from jet lag, Peter Parker squints in the Southern California sun and tries not to breathe the air. He's arrived. Palm trees and 80 degrees in January. I'm going to come down with a cold and I feel it. Champions building for rent, for sale, or rent. All right, so what do we got here? Besides, how many photographers get to document the end of a supergroup? All right, so maybe we'll get something here. Still not quite awake, Peter fails to overhear the conversation of two cigarettes. Cripes, a guy can get a stiff neck at this job. If we even save one life while they're boarding this building up, it's worth it. I check the 15th floor again. All right, something's cracking in the windows. Someone's going down at a count. Why is Peter Parker in Los Angeles? Oh, they said he sent them there to cover the closing of the group. Angel is one of the champions. I guess he left the X-Men before they came back and formed X-Factor. He hasn't been turned into the Archangel yet. So he's just a dick with wings. Warren Worthington III swoops down from the 15th floor of the Champions building. I got a few minutes to kill. Some glass is coming at him. Angel saves the day, flips it up, throws it into the Santa Monica Bay. Holy crow. Done. There's no way I can reach the second pane before it hits that kid. He's doomed. Fuck him. But he doesn't realize that that's, of course, Spider-Man, lucky to be alive, rolling over. You and Tommy almost killed, friend. Time almost killed you, friend. Well, if everything's under control here, I'm expecting a photographer from New York, so, well, hey, You talk about me, I'm Peter Parker. I was killing time when, well, time almost killed you, friend. Right. Anyway, the Bugle sent me to interview your stupid, blonde, rich asshole fucking face. The champs are already gone. I'm the only one left. And that multi-million-dollar contractor's nightmare. You could take some shots of me or the building so the trip would have been a total mess. Oh no, his camera's busted. Look, Pete, most of my money may be tied up in a 30-story turkey, but the Worthington fortune can still afford to replace a busted camera. Well, that's nice of him. Brand new camera. Aren't you glad we got that part of the fucking story in here? All right, designed by Stark West Architects, but the builders use shoddy materials. Nothing works. They gave him a shitty building. All right. We just defeated a group of pseudo sentinels thrown at us by a band of evil mutants. You see this? This is a rub to get you to read the champions. And who's in the champions? It's not a bad team here. We got Hercules, Ghost Rider. So they just sit there and they all talk to Ghost Rider with his flaming fucking head. Nobody says anything. Champions number 17. They got that far. Nothing else since the day it was built. Yes. We spent all our time defending it. I've grown tired of fighting with this pile of bricks. Besides, none of you want me here. Johnny Ghost Rider, that's not true. Oh, Black Widow's in this team. I like it. They just call themselves the champion. Madame Natasha. Is that another Black Widow? That's the two Black Widows? Lanya! What are you saying? I try to belong here, Bobby. Oh, that's Iceman. Lanya! I never heard of Lanya. Flap off, Daddy Warbucks. I'll watch you. All right, so nobody's getting along. Nobody's getting along. Iceman and I have been two of the original X-Men. We co-founded the Champions. Hercules got the sick beard. He's definitely banging Natasha. The world still needs the champions. That was 2 weeks ago. Since then, I've discovered that the world does just fine without us. All right. Ghost Rider off somewhere. Dark Star went home. That must have been the chick. The Widow and Hercules headed for New York, and Iceman, he's around here somewhere. All right, so things aren't rosy in the life of the champions. It's the angel and a mummy in a wheelchair, someone behind the shadows. Okay, so someone's fucking with him. Good, we have a mystery guy. We're trying to figure out who's the guy that runs Venusville. You ought to be thankful that falling glass missed him. Have a care now you speak to me, Worthington. You forget that you are the last remaining member of the champions, and you are totally within my power. As long as our mutual friend is considered. All right, so something's going down. He's being blackmailed. Spider-Man figures out he's being blackmailed. Now I've got to figure out who's doing the blackmailing. Rampage's attack. So Rampage punched him out. Skeletal suit designed to mimic Iron Man's. He's beating up on the Angel. Spider-Man saves him. This guy with his plastic surgery. Luckily, my mask muffles my voice, so the Angel can't identify me as the photographer he spoke to this morning. Wonderful. Since the Cripples Enforcer seems to be a second-class Iron Man. So who's the man in the wheelchair? Just blackmail, meddler. The Angel has no choice to do as I wish. If I crave money, he pays. If I crave his life, he gives it, or another suffers in his place. Clark, no, you swore. I am merely giving you a lesson in obedience, Angel. Remember, another life can be snuffed out as easily as I snuff out Spider-Man. All right, so what's going on? Spider-Man, stop it. There's a human being inside that armor who let go of my arm. It must be his buddy. It's got to be fucking Iceman. It's got to be Iceman. It's got to be Iceman. Clark, he's calling him Clark, so we got a name on the guy. Why is the guy all bandaged up? Can we get to the part where we figure out who the fucking guy behind the bandage is? That's Rampage. Rampage is annoying. He's a shitty villain. We got him jumping at him. He's got an exosuit like Iron Man. Warren Worthington's jaws bust open. Spider-Man punches this guy in the face, rips his fucking skull out, punches him some more in the face. It's got to be Iceman. Oh shit. Striking the force that surrounds Stuart Clark's wheelchair, it sends an energy overload through the chair's control console, which then feeds back to the headpiece of the man in the armor of Rampage. And there's still hatred, murder in his eyes. The feedback must have only eliminated the need for the armor to transmit Clark's mental orders. What the fuck am I reading? Here we go. It was Iceman. Tremendous cold as he ices up. Ugh. We have to fight the Iceman. We have to fight the Iceman. Cold rage, stiff dooms. Oh, good lord. Good lord. Gotta say, a bit of a disappointing run through Spider-Man. We might have to need more issues here. Fury walks back, leaving Spider-Man in a large puff of smoke, staring at what looks like a deep Easter egg stranger across the river. Almost like he sees a ghost. Clemmer's making pancakes. Back inside, what we need to talk about is Venusville. Now, what's Venusville all about? You can say we got one of our agents on the inside, but we've lost contact. Of course. One of our agents got on the inside. Unfortunately, we've lost contact. Which either means she's dead or compromised. She's either compromised, dead, or out of batteries. If she's compromised, deceased, what if she's just out of batteries? All right, let's get to the next mission. Back inside, we see Spider-Man with his mask up, with his mask off, enjoying a stack of pancakes. While Fury lays out a map of the mountains. Agent Clemmer flanks Fury. Back inside, we see Spider-Man with his mask off, enjoying a stack of pancakes while Fury lays out the map of the mountains. Agent Clemmer flanks Fury. Wow. Agent Clemmer flanks Fury while what? Agent Clemmer flanks Fury. While joining Peter. You want to show her eating or no? While brewing a fresh pot of tea. We've got a lot of tea going on. Agent Clemmer flanks Fury while brewing a fresh pot of tea. Oh, we just want Fury and Spider-Man here. Back inside, we see Spider-Man with his mask off, enjoying a stack of pancakes while Fury lays out a map of the mountains. Agent Clemmer flanks Fury while brewing a fresh pot of tea. While bringing over, we're not brewing. While brewing? Our fucking brewing. All right, let's lay this shit out. Sometimes we gotta help ourselves if the pages aren't there, providing the necessary mining. Try not to get syrup. Try not to get syrup on the map. Try not to get syrup on the map. I can always promise. Our new friend, our new friend and our new friend and prisoner, our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been providing a full schematic of the interiors our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been providing a full schematic of the interiors of what we believe to be Venusville. We spent too much time combing through every mountain range, through every range and pass. We spent too much time. We wasted too much time. We wasted too much time. We wasted too much time combing through every range and every range and pass in the Appalachians. We wasted too much time combing through every range and pass in the Appalachians. We wasted too much time combing through every range and pass in the Appalachians. Okay, I think I need a line here. We wasted too much time combing through every range and pass that wasn't obliterated in an airstrike. We never thought to look inside the mountains. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been providing a full schematic of the interiors of what we believe to be Venusville. We wasted too much time combing through every range and pass that wasn't obliterated in an airstrike. We never thought to look inside the mountains. You're saying there's a hidden city? You're saying there's a hidden city inside the Appalachians? You're saying there's a hidden city inside the Appalachians? I'm saying there's an illegal what would Fury call it? I'm saying there's an illegal prison slash what slave colony. I'm saying there's an illegal prison. I'm saying there's an illegal. You're saying there's a hidden city inside the Appalachians. I'm saying there's an illegal brothel. I'm saying there's an illegal brothel and resort inside of the Appalachians. Inside the Appalachians. Inside the Appalachians. You're saying there's a hidden city inside the Appalachians. I'm saying there's an illegal brothel and resort inside the Appalachians. You're saying there's a hidden city inside the Appalachians. I'm saying there's an illegal brothel and resort inside the Appalachians. But I feel like she already said that it's inside. Hang on. Soon we will have their location. When they were traveling downward, she was talking about Venusville. Okay, 1 second here. It's blasted through my chest. Clemmer, hang on. These clowns, what are they writing? Good morning, Jim Blossoms. We've been looking for their base of operations like the Gamma Mine. They've been good at remaining anonymous. Now, they told us a secret city inside the mountains. The people who run it call it Venusville. She could say, on top of the mountains, they told us of a secret city. We've been looking for their base of operations. Like the Gamma Mine, they've been good at remaining anonymous. But we have found a new source. From the captives we rescued in the mine. From the captives we rescued from the mine. They told us of a secret city inside the mountains. The people who run it call it Venusville. They told us of a secret city inside the mountains. I said, fuck it. We don't need to say inside. Why would he not look inside? All right, kill the tyrant Lincoln. Get the syrup on the map. All right. A full schematic of the interiors of what we believe to be Venusville. We wasted too much time combing through every range and pass that wasn't obliterated in an airstrike. We turned every mountain inside out. See, in Guardians of the Galaxy, there was that cool planet they went to or something like that. It was like a fucking, it was like a the trading market, if you will. It was like a, which was inside the head of a celestial. I thought about like, and I remember, I believe there was one comic book where a bunch of people lived inside like a dead Ant-Man, and they had that in Deadpool and Wolverine. So I also thought we wasted too much. All right, as providing a full schematic of the interiors of what we believe to be a colony, to be Venusville. So we know we have to make an assault on Venus, but we got to change the you got to change the dialogue here. Our new friend and Willie captive Dr. O has been providing a full schematic of the interiors of what we believe to be Venusville. Why would he know that? He wouldn't know that. So get rid of this shit. Our new friend and Willie captive Dr. O. All right, he's been able to track. How has he been able to track it, though? He even say, even without his nanobots. Yes. Okay, there we go. They've traced the gamma rocks. The gamma footprint, if you will. A trail of radioactive footcrumbs. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been incredibly resourceful. Given proper given the proper nutrients. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been incredibly resourceful when giving the proper nutrients. Nutrients. The idea is that Dr. O, I'm trying to figure out a way to say Dr. O has been able to build, he's taken all the environmental fucking schematics we fed him, and he's been able to trace, like a radioactive breadcrumbs. We're tracing the gamma trail, the gamma mine trail. We're able to find the distribution, we're able to find the distribution trail of gamma mines, of gamma rocks that are going to this Venusville, feeding the engine that's over there. What are they using the gamma to do? Obviously, to experiment. They don't have back to tanks there, though, but they had one at the gamma mine. So maybe they were doing experimentation there, but remember, it got destroyed by the Hulk. They want to capture the Hulk. Maybe they did. They did capture the Hulk. They captured the fucking Hulk. But how did they capture the Hulk? All right. Do they have a She-Hulk there? That could be some cool shit too. Yeah, they could have on display like fucking King Kong, like Planet of the Apes, you know? So I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this story. Like Spider-Man can be caught. They can all be caught and forced into like a gladiator arena, and the person they gotta fight's the Hulk. You get like the World War Hulk scene like with Thor. What he said, be Spider-Man versus the Hulk. Just tinkering with what we can do here. Incredibly resourceful when given the proper nutrients. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been incredibly resourceful when given the proper nutrition. We fed him the schematics. The entire surrounding due to the coarse nature of the wastelands. Due to the coarse nature of the wastelands, we haven't been able to track. Due to the coarse nature of the wastelands, we haven't been able to track anyone close to this secret spot. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been incredibly resourceful when given the proper nutrition. Through the coarse nature of the wastelands, we haven't been able to track anyone close to this secret society, to this secret base. Due to the coarse nature of the wastelands, we haven't been able to track anyone close to this Venusville. We haven't been able to successfully track. Due to the coarse nature of the wastelands, we haven't been able to successfully track anyone connected to that busted mine. But the doctor made a breakthrough. With Dr. O made a breakthrough. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern for Dr. O made a breakthrough. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern that led us to the road. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern that led us. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. O, has been incredibly resourceful when given the proper nutrition. Due to the coarse nature of the wastelands, we haven't been able to successfully track anyone connected to that busted mine. But Dr. O, that busted gamma mine. That busted gamma mine. Gamma G mine? Gamma mine. But Dr. O made a breakthrough. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern that led us to the distribution channel. That led us to the distribution channel into Venusville. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern that led us to the distribution channel into Venusville. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern that led us to the distribution channel into Venusville. Successfully track anyone connected to that busted gamma mine. But Dr. O made a breakthrough. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern that led us to the distribution channel into Venusville. We found the road. We found the road in. Spider-Man will say. Agent Clemmer told me about it. Agent Clemmer briefed me. The secret city, hidden in the mountains. The secret city, hidden in the mountains. Agent Clemmer briefed me. The secret city, hidden in the mountains. That place is a brothel. That place is a brothel in a slum. That place is a brothel in a prison. We're on slave labor. So I want to know. That place is a brothel and a prison run on slave labor. So I want to know who's in charge. So I want to know who's in charge. So I want to know who's in charge. Who they're selling gamma rocks to. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. Our new friend and willing captive, Dr. Rowe, has been incredibly resourceful when given the proper nutrition. Due to the coarse nature of the wastelands, we haven't been able to successfully track anyone connected to that busted gamma mine. But Dr. Rowe made a breakthrough. He took the environmental compound data and was able to formulate a pattern that led us to the distribution channel into Venusville. We found the road in. Agent Clemmer briefed me. The secret city hidden in the mountains. The secret city hidden in the mountains. That place is a brothel and a prison. We're on slave labor. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. That place is a brothel and a prison. Run on slave labor. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. So we have 2 questions we need answered by the end of this fucking chapter. Who is running this fucking mine? Who's running Venusville? And who are they selling rocks to? What are they using gamma rocks for? Gamma rocks are like kryptonite. Someone's building a weapon. Maybe somebody's aiming this weapon at one Empire City. A laser cannon. A thunder horn. We gotta do some more mining. I have a feeling we'll be doing more chapters. I'll feed you when this is done, baby girl. You gotta chill. Shush. You had snacks. You're good. That place is a brothel and a prison. Run on slave labor. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. Let me feed her. Shut the fuck up. Alright, otherwise I'm gonna fucking shoot this dog. Watch the video.
Hey boys, we're here today to talk about AracKnight. It's the newest Kickstarter art book from Faro's Lounge. The only publisher who makes coffee table books, fit for a true galactic warlord. with 10 variant covers ranging from sexy safe to OMG. Nobody captures obsession like Faro's lounge. And for this Kickstarter, you have a choice of interiors. There's the traditional covers and commissions. And then there's the Skynet version, which is 32 versions of us. And even more of us when we hit the stretch goal. Faro's Lounge, because your comics are fucking boring. So pledge your allegiance on the new Kickstarter. We'll be waiting.
Ugh. No worry. Mining. Love my dog, but not when I'm writing. Get aggravated. Agent Clement briefed me. The secret city hidden in the mountains. But I feel like they've discussed this already. He discussed this with Fury already. We can't double speak. Sometimes it gets harder as you further into a story. Sometimes the same mining doesn't always work. Let's make it personal. When he says, not on my watch. Right? Agent Clemmer, of course. God damn, where is it here? I don't think our patient minds. All right, so now he tells him about Venusville here. Human trials. Did I do what? Did you kill him? Crooked Mayor, Vulture, Sandman, Exile, Man like Star, Mediocrities of Fate, Words to Death. Well, Fury, he passed the test. Master in Nanotechnology. Okay, Living Brain. Q Branch. Web Shooters, you did this. God damn it, where is it? Passivity, excellent mentor. Nice to see you again. Wastelands. Dr. O, Dr. Harrow, Dr. Thaxton, Dr. Harrow. Late Supper. Fury. He sprung Stark. Went down. What are we getting at? Years, Peter, working on recovery efforts. Millions of people. Here we go. All right, good, good, good. All right, so he hasn't mentioned Venusville to him. Okay, good. Good. All right, we're all caught up here. Good, good, good. Just making sure. He has not mentioned Venus Bill. First time he hears about it is Agent Clemmer. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. Am I going in alone? So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. Is this when I go in again? This when I go in again undercover as a refugee? Let's see here. That place is a brothel and a prison run on slave labor. Agent Clemmer briefed me. The secret city hidden in the mountains. That place is a brothel and a prison run on slave labor. Run on slave labor. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. So fix up the cruiser and I'll storm in. No, so I gotta figure out what he's saying here. He's telling him what he wants. He's telling him what he wants. This is what I want. How the fuck do we go out and get it? Find myself uniquely stuck here. That place is a brothel and a prison run on slave labor. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. I mean, we're right here at the fucking page here. So what does he say? All right, let's get some mining done. Mine the next fucking one. When you are stuck on a line, we do some mining. All right, here we go. Green Goblin. We're going at it with Silvermane. They're fighting inside Radio City Music Hall. One person's got to win. He's throwing toad bombs. He's throwing fucking iron bombs. What does he got here? Silvermane's up there in the air. After all, Silvermane, I came here to kill you. No inhuman goblin. In the end, that's what really matters. Boss, he goes flying back. Breathing just barely. He fell. They're all shooting at the goblin. Spider-Man jumps on top. He gets him in a fireman's carry. F5! F5! Radio City Music Hall. He's in the hit with the F5. Goblin. Harry Osborn frees himself and realizes, holy shit, you son of a bitch. Now I'm going to go put on this goblin stuff. I can't believe I'm doing this again. The legacy of my father. The Green Goblin must go into action. Jameson's pissed off. What's he pissed off again? Kidnapped by who? Who's kidnapped? The entire Night Owl edition has already been plated. Then what? I have to admit the idea has an appealing sound to it. No more screwy web slinging to make my life miserable. No more humiliation. No more regrets. Jonah hates him so much. J. Jonah Jameson might be seriously tempted to reconsider his statement. So they're fighting. He's going to put him in the old incinerating plant, the same place that Spider-Man once killed his clone. Months ago, you disposed of one of your own clones in one of these smokestacks, web slinger. Oh, how does he know that? Look at this guy with all the blackmails. They shoot at each other. Spider-Man puts up the web shields. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned fight on top of the old fucking incinerating plant. I need no tricks to help me destroy you, insect. I need nothing but my all-consuming hatred. So this fucking doctor went crazy. He thinks he's the Green Goblin because he read and he sat there and listened to all of Harry Osborn's therapy sessions. And it's a good old-fashioned brawl on the incinerating plant. He wants to be master of the world. He punches him, hits him. Spider-Man fights back, takes him down. You're Bart Hamilton, you son of a bitch. I was astonished by the many secrets he thus revealed to me. Naturally, I decided to check the veracity of Harry's statements and discovered every single one of them were true. The hideout. He began riding on the cycle. He started thinking of himself as the Green Goblin. He truly went insane. It was a simple matter for me to hypnotize him once more and order him to engineer your destruction. You had pretended to be his best friend. It was Harry who secretly followed you here when you disposed of your clone and took pictures of you in the act. Nice. At my directing, Harry mailed them to J. Jonah Jameson back when they tried to blackmail him. And then Harry shows up, and now there's two goblins, and everyone's pissed. He says, "You son of a bitch, you're trying to beat me. I'm going to save the day. I'm going to get my fucking girlfriend Liz back. Good old Liz Allen." It's a goblin versus goblin matchup on top of the old incinerating plant. Who will win? Who will lose? Holy Hannah, someone's got to go, and someone's going down, and it looks like the Harry Osborn's going to win. He says, "You son of a bitch, you make me sick to my stomach. I hate this fucking goddamn costume. I'm going to incinerate you and incinerate everybody." Does he kill himself? You have 5 seconds to detonation, Osborn. Apologize or... Nope, he falls into the incinerating plant. Dr. Barton Hamilton doesn't even have time to protest before he is thrown away with the rest of the trash. It's over and we're still among the living. We can have Spider-Man dispose of one of these guys in an incinerating plant. We could have a nice showdown with the Vulture and the Sandman. But the nightmare is finally over. Epilogue. Oh, I like that. He has to go find Liz. Story of my life. Dr. Hamilton lost control of a psychological experiment he was conducting and ultimately destroyed himself. You were only an innocent victim of another man's madness. And Liz is waiting. The Molten Lad. Molten Lily. Nothing like a happy ending. I like that. That's nice. Nice happy ending for fucking Harry and fucking Liz. Good for them. Too bad I don't got an ending here. Oh, I'll never forget. This is a filler issue. This is them. They were behind. You could tell they were fucking behind deadlines or whatever because this is a horrible artist. And it's a flashback issue, which means there's no fucking story. You cork suckers. All right, before we move on to team up, where Spider-Man teams up with fucking Havoc to fight the goddamn Faro. Hey, we like the name Faro. All right. That place is a brothel and a prison. Or on slave labor. So I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. If there's a place, so if there's a place where they're picking up refugees, so if there's a place where they're picking up refugees, I can go undercover. I can go undercover. I don't know how well your other agents will stick out. So if there's a place where they're picking up refugees, I can go undercover. I don't know where your other agents will stick out. Okay, so let's change. We gotta move some dialogue. I want to know who's in charge and who they're selling gamma rocks to. So let's move this line here. And what's the action going on? So what are we doing on this page? This is obviously some exposition to lead us to our next scene. They got to get into Venusville. They're working on the doctor. For agents. So if there's a place where they're picking up refugees, I can go undercover. I don't know how well your other agents will stick out. So what is Spider-Man doing when he's saying this? Spider-Man swallows. Spider-Man slugs down his last forkful of pancakes. So if there's a place where they're picking up refugees, I can go undercover. I don't know how well your other agents will stick out. Well, Fury could say this first. We've got one of our agents. He can say, "I'm afraid you're right." Spider-Man slugs down his last forkful of pancakes. So if there's a place where they're picking up refugees, I can go undercover. I don't know how well your other agents will stick out. I'm afraid you're right. I'm afraid you're right. I don't know how well your other agents will stick out. I'm afraid you're right. I've already planted. I'm afraid you're right. I'm afraid you're right, Parker. I've already put. I've already planted one of my girls. I already planted one of my agents. I'm afraid you're right, Parker. I've already planted one of my agents in one of those camps. In one of those camps. I'm afraid you're right, Parker. I've already planted one of my agents in one of those camps. In the camps. I'm afraid you're right, Parker. I've already planted one of my agents in the camps. Spider-Man slugs down his last forkful of pancakes, while Fury Clemmer pours him a mug of tea. No, it should be Fury. Yeah, Fury pours him a fresh mug of tea. Nah, it should be Fury. Clemmer. Clemmer's holding the fucking thing. Well, Clemmer pours him fresh cup of tea. So there's a place where they're picking up refugees. I can go undercover. I don't know how well your other agents will stick out. I'm afraid you're right, Parker. I've already planted one of my agents in the camps. But I lost contact. But I lost contact once she got inside. I fear that she's either. I fear that she's either compromised. I fear that she's either compromised or deceased. I fear she's either compromised, deceased, or worse. She could just be. She could just be. She could just be out of batteries. She could just be out of batteries, Fury. I lean on the side of optimism. I lean on the side of optimism. Optimism. She could just be out of batteries, Fury. I lean on the side of optimism. It shouldn't be Clemmer. Well, Clemmer, while Fury, I want to do like a, I want to do like a Tywin Lannister move where he pours the wine for Tyrion. Like I'm trying to respect. While Fury takes a pot of tea from Clemmer. If there's a place where they're picking up refugees, I can go undercover. I don't know how well your other agents will stick out. I'm afraid you're right, Peter. I'm afraid you're right, Parker. I've already planted one of my agents in the camps, but I lost contact once she got inside. I fear that she's either compromised, deceased, or worse. She could just be out of batteries, Fury. She could just be out of batteries, Fury. I lean on the side of optimism. Close up as Fury pours Peter a fresh cup of tea. Sign of respect. Close up as Fury pours Peter a fresh cup of tea. Sign of respect. As Fury pours Peter a fresh cup of tea, a sign of respect. Close up as Fury pours Peter a fresh cup of tea. She could just be out of batteries, Fury. I lean on the side of optimism. So you'll do it. Well, I've already eaten your pancakes. I've already eaten your pancakes. It's the least I can do. I don't have to play any games after this. We don't have to play any games after this, Peter. This will be the last official. This will be the last favor I ask. I ask of you. We don't have to play games after this, Peter. We don't have to play any games after this, Peter. We don't have to play any games or games. We don't have to play games after. We don't have to play any games after this, Peter. This will be the last favor I ask of you. Unofficially, of course. Meaning, well, you don't have the measurements. Well, you don't have the measurements to fit my current roster, but you do have the heart. Now, Clemmer should pour out the tea. So you'll do it. Well, I've already eaten your pancakes. It's the least I could do. We don't have to play any games after this, Peter. This will be the last favor I ask of you. Unofficially, of course. Unofficially, of course. No, I still like when he says unofficially. Off the record. No, unofficially. Ugh. Unofficially. Unofficially. Officially. Yeah, of course. What's wrong with this word? No. Unofficially, of course. Meaning, well, you don't have the measurements to fit my current roster, but you do have the heart. But you do have the heart. Steady hands. Could have a place for you. Place for you with Shield. We could have a place for you with Shield. let's do, again, it's a conversation page, so we could do multiple. We could do 9 panels. Again, it's like cigars and pouring out wine, and it's conversational. So I'll never go more than 9. I don't like to do more than 8, to be honest with you, but we're getting a lot of conversation in this one particular storyline. So Fury pulls out a cigar, pulls out a fresh cigar. We could have a place view with shield. Fury pulls out a fresh cigar and is about to light it before Peter snares it in a mini web shoot, in a mini web blast. SFX of the mini web blast. Fury will say, besides, wouldn't it be great? Besides, wouldn't it be a kick? Wouldn't it be a kick in the dick? Besides, wouldn't it be a kick in the dick to have you on the mayor's payroll? Besides, wouldn't it be a kick in the dick to have you on the mayor's payroll? Wouldn't it be a kick in the dick to have you on the mayor's payroll? And then Spider-Man will say, all right, I like this. Spider-Man will say, ugh, actually, Agent Fury, Spider-Man kicks back in the chair and smokes Fury's cigar. Fury looks on, slightly angry, but with respect to his move. Actually, Agent Fury, I like this line here. I'm already on the mayor's payroll. Remember, he's Peter Parker. He's a photographer. Actually, Agent Fury, I'm already on the mayor's payroll. We really should have a line in there because remember, he doesn't know. Remember, Mayor Jameson doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Unless Jonah doesn't care right now, because again, he could say he was on assignment in the Wastelands. All right, yeah, I was on assignment in the Wastelands, sir. I mean, he's not worried about Peter Parker right now, so I'm not worried about the mayor. Actually, Agent Fury, I'm already on the mayor's payroll. Actually, Agent Fury, I'm already on the mayor's payroll. It's the idea of saying, what else are you going to pay me? All right, so we got our notes. We actually finished the page, believe it or not. It was a bit tough. Sometimes they're tough. Sometimes these pages are tough to finish. Let's get it going here. We got 1 page to go, and class is dismissed. I gotta go make up with my dog. She's mad at me right now. So I yelled at her because I'm obsessed when I write. All right, but she just had dinner, so she's okay. All right. We just gave him his mission. He's got to get into Venusville. They've just performed open heart fucking surgery on Tony Stark. And now Dr. O's giving them the schematics of this Venusville that they have to go see. Fury said he's got a girl there behind enemy lines. We're going to use that. I probably is Jennifer Kale, Swamp Rat. Jennifer Kale Swamp Rat. She's gonna be our undercover bird in there. That hot ass outfit. Jennifer Kale Swamp Rat. Agent Kale Swamp Rat, aka Swamp Rat. Actually, Agent Fury, I'm already on the mayor's payroll. It's like his way of saying, fuck off, dude. I'm already there. I'm already on. The mayor's already paying me. I'm one step ahead of you, Fury, you fuck. So now we got to get him there. I don't know if he's going in via cruiser. Peter's got to get into a refugee camp and he's got to make his way into Venusville. Do we have anywhere to transition? Right now, Dr. O is giving them schematics. We could show him sleeping at night. We could show the doctor trying to get a hold of his nanobots. Remember, what do we have here in our bubble? We've got Dr. O. Spider-Man's on his way to Venusville. We have to find out who's running Venusville, who's financing Venusville. Is it this Faro? Someone's trying to take over America, what is left of America. Because of all that nuclear fallout and fight, a whole shitload of gamma rocks have seemed to have popped up all over the country. We need to figure out, they got 7 pages left in this chapter. In these 7 pages, we have to answer these questions. Who runs Venusville? That he's important enough to have the Vulture and the Sandman working for him. Is it going to be another member of the Sinister Six? We could bring Kirk Connors back sometime, but I think we'll probably save Kirk Connors for another story. He can catch up with Spider-Man later, right now. He's all fucked up. We just got all the fucking DNA sucked out of him. Between the Pharaoh and the Force. Let's see if we get anything out of this issue. Stornoway. Muir Isle. It's an hour's journey by hovercraft from Stornoway in Scotland's outer Hebrides to this godforsaken slab of rock. North through the Winch, then around Cape Wrath, and out towards the Skerries. It's a lonely place, which off the beaten track just suited Moira McTaggart just fine when she came here 20 years ago to set up a mutant research center. All right, X-Men's 97 to 109. Ooh, we are far into X-Men, huh? So, Banshee, what is that? With Moira and Jamie Madrox in Edinburgh for the weekend, we have the island all to ourselves. Before dawn, who they are, what they mean to. That's Havoc, right? I'm assuming that's Polaris, right? Havoc and Polaris are together. Yes, Havoc and Polaris, daughter of Magneto. This energy beam came from the rocks, Lorna. There are men up there. Well, fellas, you just made a big mistake. Alex, be careful. Your power. He shoots energy beams from his chest. The Pharaoh is after them. Polaris, mistress of magnetism. We could bring in Lorna Dane. We could bring in every fucking hot-ass fucking X-Men chick. As a matter of fact, why not? Just still something we could play with later on. Another Bond girl. Another Bond girl to our annals. Bond girl. Lorna Dane. Polaris. Mistress of magnetism. We are still on page 18. All right. The blast threw her into the sea. Lorna, she got shot into the sea. They're sitting there in Scotland. The blast did things like a South American bolo. Something's whipping around him. All right, I like the bolo. I like the bolo weapon. That could definitely incapacitate Spider-Man. But remember, he's going in there as a refugee. Agent Clement could strip him down. They can make a plan. You can't just say go in there on the refugee lines and get inside. I like the bolo. Prepare the injection. I want him unconscious. When you have one tiger by the tail. She is unimportant and expendable. All right, well, she lives. ESU is dark and deserted. Science building, advanced chem lab. 6 hours without a break. Remember, we can't have any experimentation in this Venusville because they don't have a lab. He's way bad, me. Someone's there, all right. They're trying hard not to make a sound. It's a bunch of Egyptians stealing some shit. What do we got? Scottish assaulting successfully capture the American youth havoc. All right, Spider-Man webs up some motherfuckers, puts his costume on. He's got to go chase these fucking crazy Egyptian dudes. We're in this crazy Egyptian vehicle. Hate to burst your bubble, bunkies, but your boss's dreams of empire just hit a pothole. Lorna Dane is on her force of will, holding by the phone. Oh, answer, please, somebody answer. She calls the X-Men's mansion. Phone rings, nobody answers. 3 a.m. in New York, someone should be home. Cerebro should have automatically taken the call. Someone's fucking around. Oh, it's the Beast. Hi, Lorna. Home in triumph and find you dying of pneumonia. You won't do it all to bring him. Take care of yourself. Be in touch. Beast, where goest thou? All right, he's in the Avengers, huh? Passing strange, the Beast deserts his post and takes a Quinjet that federal agent Gyrick hath forbidden us to use. 'Tis unlike him. His words were jocular. Right, fuck off. That's the Avengers Quinjet, I believe. Looks like one of the big local legends is in a hurry. Full details, frantic ones, can be found in X-Men 111. Oh, Jesus Christ. Just giving you the rub there, right? Just always giving you the rub. The hover cars drop behind some pretty sophisticated shields. Without that bug, I haven't a hope of finding. Hey! All right, what do we got? He's chasing the crazy Egyptians. What do we got in the story here? You see the captured Havoc, saturation point. Spider-Man leaps down. He starts whipping some ass, start beating up some fucking Egyptians. He's got to untie Havoc. Havoc lets loose. He starts blasting fucking people with energy bolts. He's blasting everybody all over the place. He's got to figure out what the hell they want with me, Havoc, besides the fact that the editors at Marvel want me to give you the rub, Havoc, so they're going to give him the old Spider-Man tag team rub. The Living Pharaoh. Oh, good God. They throw some stupid fucking villains out here, man. Allah preserve me, it's Spider-Man. Why? How? It's almost like, no. The Pharaoh's blast shot Spidey out of here like a rocket. Even if he survives, it'll be a miracle. That's 2 lives you owe me, Butcher. And I mean to collect. Times have changed since we last met. All right, so they're going to fight. They met before in an old X-Men. If we ever finish our run on the Fantastic Four, we'll read some X-Men. The men move swiftly down to a long, forgotten sub-basement beneath the consulate. I'm just not feeling this issue, man. The living statue, strictly linked. They're trying to resurrect somebody. I guess they're going to drain Havoc's fucking life here. The Pharaoh wants your power. Make you operate at peak power, then it absorbs it, amplifies it. Okay, we can amplify it. We've done this before. That's the old X-Men 1 plot. I'm going to amplify the power because I'm too fucking weak to do it. And we'll use it to what? Resurrect somebody, bring somebody back to life. Who's this fucking guy? Touch that talisman. Make even the slightest move towards Havoc, and you will feel the wrath of the one whose personification of the gods of Horus and Osiris. Oh, good God. I've seen these oddball outfits, Pharaoh, but yours takes the cake. What show are you trying out for, The Wiz or Star Wars 2? Oh, that's funny, because Empire Strikes Back's not out yet. In this particular corner of the Spider-Man universe. Sets Havoc free. He's got to punch somebody out. Someone's got to get fucked and decked in the fucking face. It's an impressive punch. Where does he fall? The crystal casing. He falls through it. Underneath. Havoc gets out. People get shot. The ultimate victory. He's changing into something greater. Look at me. Professor Abdul, who called himself the living pharaoh, is no more. In his place, I am the living embodiment of power. The living monolith walks the earth once more. Oh, good Christ. Oh, good God. Spidey joins forces with Thor as he learns whom the gods destroy. So they just kind of toss Havoc out of there, or is Havoc still in this fucking issue, the next one? See, kids, sometimes it's hard to write these comic books, especially if you're not getting good material to mine with. We're gonna keep mining. I mean, did we get anything out of there? We gotta go back to Los Angeles with Spider-Man. He's flying across town. He's in New York in one place. He's in fucking space in another. People's Liberation Front could be running Venusville. We could have mutants there. It could be Apocalypse, Citrusville, the floating Disney Death Star station or loading port, which could be our Moss Isley. I like that too. We're already on the mayor's payroll. Besides, would it be a kick in the dick to have you on the mayor's payroll? Actually, Agent Fury, I'm already on the mayor's payroll. All right, he says he's already on the mayor's payroll. So now we got to get him into Venusville. So rather than outfitting him, we don't need to outfit him. Let's cut right to the fucking refugee line. But Peter can also see, the denizens of war. What was your profession before the war? Hey, I love it. Ugh. It's always nice when we make some nice, cool, fun digital sales. This guy's buying lots of digitals. Likely, likely. Good job, kid. Buy those digitals. Keep me in the life that I'm accustomed to. I will pay some commissions, kid. You sell a lot of digitals, they keep giving you loans. It's nice. All right. Page 18. Where are we? Liberation Front. Okay. Morbius. Morbius could be the fucking vampire. The vampire could be living inside the fucking mountain. Morbius could be our guy. Nah, I like Morbius. No, you don't need him in Storyville. You could put a whole new different villain down there. It's inside of a mountain. There is no sunlight. Vampire. Ooh, shit. Spider-Man can go in. They can take samples of blood. That's how he could be discovered. Now remember, there's no lab. No lab. I don't know if I want a vampire though. I think we save him for Storyville. Vampire doesn't work. What do you know about vampires? I know what I read in stories. You know, we've got aliens, living brains, mutants. It'd be silly not to believe in them. However, I've never seen a real one. Well, now we've got reports that one exists. You go in a store. Because the idea is returning Spider-Man's going to be our James Bond. Or maybe he leaves S.H.I.E.L.D. and goes license to kill. Fit my current roster, but you do have the heart and steady hands. We could have a place for you with S.H.I.E.L.D. Besides, would it be a kick in the dick to have you on the mayor's payroll? Actually, Agent Fury, I'm already on the mayor's payroll. All right, let's get him to the prison. Let's get it. Let's get it fucking going here. He's got his feet kicked up. He's telling him, okay, so let's cut to the next morning. But what are we doing? What are we showing? Are we showing Venusville? Are we showing a mountain pass? Refugee camp? So where are we catching up this refugee camp? Let me see a map of the Appalachians. Ooh, maps. Sometimes you gotta do a little geography, geography. Appalachian. Give me directions. The White House. Pennsylvania Avenue, baby. Sure. Shenandoah. Go back one. God damn it. Range. Okay, good. He's here. Gettysburg was the gap. We put the mine. Yeah, I like it. Cut to an overview shot of what used to be a mountain resort in Pennsylvania. Poconos, fuck it. In the Pono Mountains of New Jersey. We cut to an overview of what used to be a mountain resort in the Pocono Mountains of New Jersey. Caption. Across the panel reads. Meanwhile, at an old no caption reads. Caption across the panel reads the Poconos. Pocono Mountains. Before the war, Pocono Mountains. Before the war, these hallowed peaks and valleys. Ooh, we like sails. These hallowed peaks and valleys served as many a getaway for families and friends from Empire City, Pocono Mountains. Before the war, these hallowed peaks and valleys served as many a getaway for families and friends from Empire City all the way to Metropolis. Where Knickerbockers and Metropolitans gathered to leave their troubles at the base The Pocono Mountains. Before the war, these hallowed peaks and valleys served as many a getaway for families and friends from Empire City all the way to Metropolis, where Knickerbockers and Metropolitans gathered to leave their troubles at the base. Where Yankees and rebels could settle their differences over a game of what? Over a match of rounders. Where Yankees and rebels could settle their differences over a match of what? Over a game of softball or a boat race. Better times. Pocono Mountains. Before the war, these hallowed peaks and valleys served as many a getaway for families and friends from Empire City all the way to Metropolis, where Knickerbockers and Metropolitans gathered to leave their troubles at the base, where Yankees and rebels could settle their differences over a game of softball or a boat race. For those who weren't students of the summer, the mountains would serve those. And for those who weren't students of the summer, the mountains would serve those who required the snow to feel alive. Required the brisk feel of the winter air. And for those who weren't students of the summer, the mountains would serve those who required the brisk feel of the winter air. The mountains would serve those who required the brisk feel of the winter air as it whipped by on a snowboard. On a snowboard coated in oil. Coated in oil and wax. Can we ever find those days again? Well, Peter should be, I think maybe Peter is the one that should be talking about this instead. Instead of a caption across the, yeah, fuck the caption bullshit, all right. Spider-Man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's fucking dictating. Well, now he's not Spider-Man, remember he's Peter Parker now. Pocono Mountains. Before the war, these hallowed peaks and valleys served as many a getaway for families and friends from Empire City all the way to Metropolis, where Knickerbockers and where Knickerbockers, Knickerbockers, where Knickerbockers and Metropolitans gathered to leave their troubles at the base, where Yankees and rebels could settle their differences over a game of softball or a boat race. And for those who weren't students of the summer, the mountains would serve those who required the brisk feel of the winter air as it whipped by on a snowboard coated in oil and wax. Can we ever find those days again? They close in on a long line of dirty and destitute refugees of the American Civil War, of the Second American Civil War. We close in on a long line of dirty and destitute refugees of the Second American Civil War. who are waiting on a bread and soup line at the camp at the old resort. Peter will give some more exposition. In the years since the end of the war, several points along the old coastline, along what used to be the East Coast, served as refugee camps. Several points along what used to be the East Coast served as refugee camps and exit ports for the survivors looking for work or passage to another country, perhaps a better life. Ironic, seeing as America, perhaps a better life. Ironic, seeing as America used to be the place where everyone was fighting to get in. In the years since the end of the war, I gotta move this here because I hate that it starts okay. In the years since the end of the war, several points along what used to be the East Coast served as refugee camps and exit ports for the survivors looking for work or passage to another country, perhaps a better life. Ironic, seeing as America used to be the place, used to be the place where everyone was fighting to get in for the dark times, for the empire, before the dark times, before the empire. He's Peter Parker. He's not Spider-Man. Close up on the line shows Peter disguised as a refugee in a dirty army jacket. In a dirty army jacket. Disguised as a refugee in a dirty army jacket and muddy pants. Close up the line shows Peter disguised as a refugee in a dirty army jacket and muddy pants. Right. Whatever sites avoided nuclear fallout became refugee camps. Whatever sites avoided nuclear fallout became refugee camps, often financed by anonymous donors. But most of them recruitment places. But most of them recruitment pits where shady organizations engaged in human trafficking. They offered a better life. They offered a better life in exchange for a piece of your soul. Whatever sites avoided nuclear fallout became refugee camps, often financed by anonymous donors, but most of them recruitment pits where shady organizations engaged in human trafficking. Where they could scour the bread lines they could scour the bread lines and sort out those they found interesting. They could scour the bread lines and sort out those they found interesting. He stands on a bread line while a pair of armed guards survey the line of refugees. Ooh, whatever sites avoided nuclear fallout became refugee camps. Often financed by anonymous donors, but most of them recruitment pits where shady organizations engaged in human trafficking. God damn it. Wait. Where shady organizations engaged in human trafficking, where they could scour the bread lines and sort out those they found interesting. They offered a better life in exchange for a piece of your soul. When you're out of hope, when you're out of hope, a brothel or a but when you're out of hope, a brothel or a dark mind beats an empty belly any day. Or does it? Nah, that doesn't make any sense. They offered a better life in exchange for a piece of your soul. But when you're out of hope, a brothel or a dark mind, a brothel or a dark mind may seem a small penance. When you're out of hope, a brothel or a dark mind may seem a small penance. That's the road. The road back to heaven is paved through Venusville. They could scour the bread lines and sort out those they found interesting. Sort out what? Why can't I use those? Oh. Sort out those they found interesting. They offered a better life in exchange for a piece of your soul. But when you're out of hope, a brothel or a dark mind may seem a small penance. What? Seems? May seem like a small. A brothel or a dark mind may seem like a small penance. Perhaps the road to back. Perhaps the road to heaven, not back to heaven. Perhaps the road to heaven is paved through Venusville. A pair of guards grab Peter as he tries to remain anonymous. All right, we're flowing here. Hitman 1. You. You. Mr. Broad Shoulders. You. Mr. Broad Shoulders. You don't look starving. Do the whole, you don't look starving, Mr. Ernst. You, Mr. Broad Shoulders. You a war vet? And Peter will say, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Hitman Jew will say, what's your trade, boy? What's your trade, boy? Hunter Trapper, sir. Hunter Trapper, sir. You say, Rail Splitter. Uh, Rail Splitter, sir. Rail Splitter, sir. You know, nice little Abraham Lincoln throwback. Pair of guards grab Peter as he tries to remain anonymous while grabbing a crust of bread. Crust of bread, a cup of soup. Gotta be detailed. You, Mr. Broadshoulders. You a war vet? Yes. Yes, sir. What's your trade, boy? Rail splitter, sir. Uh, Rail splitter, sir. Good with an axe. Rail splitter, sir. One hitman. No, okay. Where's my blockage here? One hitman grabs Peter while the other steals his soup, his cup of soup. Gonna make them dicks. Rail splitter, sir. Rail splitter, sir. You a war vet? Yes. Yes, sir. Which war? All of them, sir. You, Mr. Broadshoulders. You a war vet? Yes. Yes, sir. What's your trade, boy? Rail splitter, sir. One hitman grabs Peter while the other steals his cup of soup. Rail splitter, sir. A brothel or a dark mine may seem like a small penance, but when you're out of hope, not only out of hope, but when hope's provided, but when hope's providing empty platitudes, but when hope's providing empty platitudes, a brothel or a dark mine may seem like a small penance. Perhaps the road to heaven is paved through Venusville. You, Mr. Broadshoulders, you a war vet? Yes, yes, sir. What's your trade, boy? Rail splitter, sir. Rail splitter, sir. So the idea is to get Peter into Venusville right now, which we're doing. I don't know if we'll have time to get it, but I want to get that Ernst Stavro Blofeld moment, which we'll probably get on the next 2 pages, because I don't know if we'll be able to get it in these panels, but we could try. One hitman grabs Peter while the other steals his cup of soup. Rail splitter, sir. Yeah, what battle you serving? You, Mr. Broadshoulders, you war vet? Yes. Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, how do we know? Well, how do we know? Well, how? Yeah, how do we know? Yeah, well, how do we know we didn't steal? Yeah, well, how do we know you ain't? Yeah, well, how do we know you ain't lying? Stole another man's. Yeah, well, how do we know you ain't lying and stole a dying man's jacket, dying man's tags? Yeah, well, how do we know you ain't lying and stole a dying man's tags? Peter could just fucking just go broke because I remember your face. Because I remember your face, brother. Battle of Anchorhead. Battle of Anchorhead. Yo, how do you? Yo, how do we know you ain't lying? It's like, you, Mr. Broadshoulders, you a war vet? Yes, yes, sir. Yo, how do we know you ain't lying and stole a dying man's tags? Because I remember your face, brother. The Battle of Anchorhead. The Battle of Anchorhead. I fell into the drink. I fell into the drink, and you saved my ass. Uh, yeah, sure. You're welcome. Yeah, sure. You're welcome. Hitman number one will say, "What's your trade, boy? What's your trade, boy?" Rail splitter, sir. Rail splitter, sir. One hitman grabs Peter while the other steals his cup of soup. I like that. Get a cute line in there, you know? Well, how do we know you ain't lying and stole a dying man's tags? Because I remember your face, brother. The Battle of Anchorhead. I fell into the drink. You saved my ass. Yeah, sure. You're welcome. What's your trade, boy? Rail splitter, sir. One hitman grabs Peter while the other steals his cup of soup. Right? Perfect. Off the line, boy. Perfect. Off the line, boy. Perfect. Off the line, then, boy. You're eating at the grown-ups table. You're eating at the grown-ups table tonight. Take 'em with the others. Nah, you wouldn't say it. They know what they're doing. I hate that whole take 'em with the others. Doesn't he know he's gonna take 'em with the others? Okay. Perfect. Off the line, then, boy. You're eating at the grown-ups table tonight. Our boss knows how to take care of our boss has jobs. Perfect. Off the line, then, boy. You're eating at the grown-ups table tonight. Our boss knows how to take care of those who served. Our boss knows how to take care of those who served. I like that. That's cool. Perfect. Off the line then, boy. You're eating at the grown-ups table tonight. Our boss knows how to take care of those who served. Boom! Let's close this fucking page out. And then I'll walk you, I promise. I see you fucking itching to fucking walk. God forbid I don't get you to Starbucks today. This fucking heat. Let me finish the goddamn page. Can I finish the page? Daddy's got to finish the page. Don't rush me. Don't rush me, sunshine. They don't need to be 8 panels, but I got to bring them into Venusville. Which we're doing right now, baby. I got one more issue to look at, and I got to take these boys into Venusville. You've been patient and good, just a little bit longer. Starbucks will be there for another hour. Gods of Egypt, rejoice! The living monolith! No, that's not it. We're not here. Don't do it. Not Spider-Man and Thor. Spectacular Spider. Cold Rage, Swift Doom. Oh, good God of Christ. This is what you're going to do to me now. You're going to make me fucking... Oh, Christ. I got to pee, so we got to play space one more. Pee break. Sorry, an old man. Ugh.
Hey boys, we're here today to talk about AracKnight. It's the newest Kickstarter art book from Faro's Lounge. The only publisher who makes coffee table books, fit for a true galactic warlord. With 10 variant covers, ranging from sexy safe to OMG. Nobody captures obsession like Faro's Lounge. And for this Kickstarter, you have a choice of interiors. There's the traditional covers and commissions. And then there's the Skynet version, which is 32 versions of us. And even more of us when we hit the stretch goal. Faro's Lounge, because your comics are fucking boring. So pledge your allegiance on the new Kickstarter. We'll be waiting.
All I do is pee, all I do is pee, because I'm an old man, and all I do is pee. God damn it, that part is not sold yet. All right. Where are we? Not here. Not here. We're here. You land me here. In the middle of the night. One more issue, baby, I promise. Girl. Daddy writes, it's fucking hot out. All right. The Spectacular Spider-Man. And I have to admit, I am absolutely, so far, not a fucking fan. Armored bruiser named Rampage. Iceman's trying to kill us. Iceman again with the fucking brainwash. Everybody's brainwashed. Unspeakable fucking brainwashing. Can we get anything out of this issue? Besides the usual stupid, oh god, he's brainwashed. I can't believe we gotta fight this guy because he's fucking brainwashed. He's shooting ice all over everybody. Metal partition. Hijack the mind. Iceman, of course. You know how many fucking mind control things here? Ghost Rider, Darkstar. Okay, Darkstar, that's the chick. Black Widow and Iceman, they all cut out. Super group for the common man. I was the wing millionaire trying to hold together 2 Russians, a demigod, a flaming motorcycle freak. My fellow mutant, the Iceman. Who's the other Russian? Darkstar. Hospital Clark is at. Kill the champions. Oh god, the champions. Trying to sell this fucking stupid thing. Again, this is just they basically just invent another Spider-Man title to get you to read their other shitty titles. Plan of revenge. I am the original Rampage. Who cares about this guy all wrapped up with the fucking bandages? He once fought Clark and now he wants revenge. Clark smeared Bobby's name for good. Oh, good God. So now this guy's beating him up. This guy's sitting here. He's a cripple. Bobby and the Rampage armor was the key to Clark's revenge. Crash, security doors, Iceman coming through. I don't need you. I don't need you either. Fuck you. Fuck your mother. I'm gonna throw some fucking icy, crazy, spiky balls at you. I'm gonna catch the crazy, spiky ball. The spiky ball's too heavy. Melt this idiot before I gotta do something. Drop kick him into the wall. Choke him with some fucking webs. Tackle him. Punch him. Kick his ass. Grab his ass. Grab his wings. Catch his wings. Feel his wings. Shit on his wings. Use his wings to wipe your ass. Get him out of gas. Jump around. Bounce around. We got showers. Bobby's out fucking cold. Spidey's known Iceman's identity since Marvel Team Up #4. Oh, good lord. Spider-Man. I don't know where. I don't know why. You fill the heroes before I blow you from here to San Francisco. Oh, good God. The scum! Forced to admit that our contractors conspired to destroy the champion's building. Oh, good God. This was the storyline. This was the fucking storyline. With Ant-Man in the hospital, I should have been back hours ago. Yes, wonderful. Camera pics of them. He goes out here. Oh, yay, we got Flash and Shoshana finally together. Former husband to bother us. Ahmed the Man-Beast died in the explosion of the hate amplifier. I have fulfilled the mission given to me by my sainted father. I am free now. Oh, fucking terrible, stupid story. Free to be with me, you mean ever since I first saw you in Vietnam. I've dreamed of walking with you like this, holding your hand. All right, Shashan, we like Shashan. A balance between you and me. I feel the same way, Shashan. Happy. Let's walk through the cloud. All right, something's gotta happen. What's going on here? Flip of a feminine wrist, the plastic frisbee flies. Lovebirds look out. Somebody catches it. Blur of motion. Aye, they don't even know they almost got conked. Those two in another world. Go on, lovers. You can thank me when you get back to Earth. Who's this guy? My name's Holly Gillis. If you give me back the frisbee, I promise to be good. Mr. Morning, classes, senorita. What are we doing here? Hector Ayala, Holly. And you know things just started looking good for me. I owe you. Let's play Amigos and Amigas. Nice. That's the what? That's the white tiger. Whatever the fuck his name is, Lightmaster. Oh God, this is so stupid, so fucking bad. Thanks, stewardess. Been circling for a long time. What's up? The airports are fog bound. We've been rerouted upstate New York, circling for a landing at Albany. Attica State Prison down there. Oh shit, who's in Attica? That sudden brilliance, we must have been hit by lightning. Now stay calm, everybody. Lightning, what does that mean? Cell is disintegrating. As the inmate laughs, a light bulb in the ceiling dims. Yes, the stupid light master. Anybody remember the Enforcers? Oh God. We beat the shit out of the Enforcers. They were our villains in our first comic book, the AracKnight. And now they're back. Fucking A. All right, we got to end this page. We know how we want to end it. Our boss not takes care of those who served. We see Peter sitting with a large group of other war veteran types as they are huddled into a subway car, into a rail car, and headed for Venusville. One of the veterans offers a flask to Peter to sip. All right. Peter looks up out of the rail car, as it enters the hidden passage that brings us to Venusville, to the entrance of Venusville. We see a grand subterranean spectacle straight out of the city of its namesake on Mars, where dark red towers jut of the inside mountain passages, all lit up by torchlight. A rail car caroms through the entrance. Boom. Our left. So we can have a lot of the page to be dominated by Venusville. So what I really just need here is dialogue. So rather than pull from our monthly subscription, we're gonna do an annual because I need 2 fucking lines of dialogue here, and I can't just make it up. So that's what we're going to do. Let's pull one more issue here. We see Peter sitting with a large group of other war veteran types as they're huddled into a rail car and headed for Venusville, like refugees crossing the border. One of the veterans offers a flask to Peter to sip at. I like that. Let's bust out an annual. I need something here to close out this chapter here. Do you want to do Spider-Man annual? Which not up to 1980 yet. Do we want to do a Marvel? It's 19. Fuck it. Or do we want to say these 2 lines? Do we want to use the Hulk? Fuck it. Fuck it. Use it. If we want to use it, open it up. Spider-Man and the Hulk. All right, what do we got here? Spider-Man's got a new girlfriend. Wednesday, the 4th of July, and ever since sundown, the sky has glittered with them. You know what? No, we're not going to do it. Because he's got a new girlfriend, and we're going to have a spoiler alert. We play it up in chronological order. We know what we want to do. We got 2 fucking lines left. We got this. Don't be a wuss. Unless you want to just use this piece of shit title, this piece of shit entry into the. Yeah. We mine here. We stay in chronological order. Use this one. This is a terrible fucking issue. This is literally, I remember when I was a kid reading this. This was rehashed crap. As a fucking 4-year-old, I even said, you know what? They just rehashed this. This is old filler story. So we're gonna end it with this one. 1 years old. So I didn't read this live. I read this later on. And I knew it was a piece of shit issue. It's him reflecting on Uncle Ben. The day your Uncle Ben died. It comes into this because he realized there was like a fucking some hidden loot underneath the house. We need 2 more lines. He's sitting there. Okay, Ben. All right, good. We have this for an issue. We have this for a reason. I like it. Here we go. Uncle Ben would be pissed. Uncle Ben would be pissed if he knew I was impersonating a veteran. Uncle Ben would be pissed if he knew I was impersonating a veteran. False valor, I believe he called it. With Fury offering me a job, offering me a position at Shield. Position at Shield. Uncle Ben would be pissed if he knew I was impersonating a veteran. False valor, I believe he called it. But with Fury offering me a position at Shield, I guess you could say I've been drafted. See, opening up the Uncle Ben thing helped us finish it, so it did its job. I guess you could say I've been drafted. Soldier of Peter Parker. Soldier of Fortune. I guess you could say I've been drafted. Peter Parker. Soldier of Fortune. Hitman could say. Welcome to Venusville. Next stop, Venusville. Next stop, gentlemen, Venusville. Next stop, gentlemen, Venusville. All right, so let's move this here. Peter looks up out of the rail car as it enters the hidden passage that brings us to the entrance of Venusville. We see a grand subterranean spectacle straight out of the city of its namesake on Mars, with dark red towers jut out of the inside mountain passages, all lit by torchlight, just like Total Recall. The rail car caroms through the entrance as Venusville is active. This is the entrance of Venusville. An underground Las Vegas. An underground Vegas meets Mars. Good. Next stop, gentlemen, Venusville. But do we want to say anything about Venusville here? Peter Parker, soldier of fortune. Next stop, gentlemen, Venusville. I mean, it's panel 7. It doesn't have to be so crazy. We can get more into it in the next page. But what else is on the rest of this page here? So I can make sure we're good. Page 18, because then we're done. You cut to the overview shot, Mountain Resort. Okay, I like that. Refugee line. Peter's pulled off the line. Before the dark times. Before the Empire. Battle of Anchorhead. I fell into the drink, and you saved my ass. Yeah, sure. You're welcome. What's your trade, boy? So served. So Peter's in the back of a rail car. Oh yeah, just give him the chance to really get that opening of fucking Venusville. You can show it active. We don't really need lines here. I mean, I could put lines in here if there's room. But I kind of just like that. Welcome to Venusville. He says, Peter Parker, soldier of fortune. Next stop, gentlemen, Venusville. It's a nice introduction that he says he's a soldier of fortune. The next stop is Venusville, and guess what, kids? This class is done. But let's go through the rest of what I consider to be this shitty entry into the Amazing Spider-Man series. But it gave me the Uncle Ben pop that I needed. So let's just get through the rest of this one where, again, he remembers Uncle Ben. This is one of those flashback ones where they literally just redraw. They have somebody just redraw the fucking pages. But again, we might be able to use something here. The Mist of Atomic Science. Let's go through it and see if there's something I could use. Because we still do have 6 pages to go. This helps us finish now the 3rd quarter. So we come into the last 6 pages. 3 more classes to go. Chapter 3 is done, and we can feed it into the movie engine. We can make ourselves a new movie. Again, he fought Crusher Hogan, who was Spider-Man. They did the stories on him, the Masked Menace. He let the guy go in the fucking elevator. And it turns out he had to go catch the burglar, and then he caught the stupid fucking burglar. And the reason they're giving this filler fucking story is they're bringing the goddamn burglar back. And I believe he dies of a heart attack in issue 200, if I remember my Spider-Man correctly. J. Jonah Jameson ruined his life. Tried to join Fantastic Four. They told him to fuck off. He fought the Chameleon, the Spider Slayers. This essentially is just a filler issue. Flashbacks, friends, loves of his life. But I got what I needed to end the chapter. Just seeing Uncle Ben in the beginning gave me what I needed. Commissioner Stacy, we got to bring back into the story as well at some point. We could bring some developments in Empire City. We can't leave Empire City alone. There's always going to be developments. A werewolf on the loose. The death of Gwen Stacy, his buddy the Lizard. The Enforcers are fucking buddies of his too. He fought the Man-Wolf. Well, we need the Man-Wolf. What do we got here? Colonel John Jameson, who never shared his father's hatred of Spider-Man. Nothing but fate chose the spider to irritate Peter Parker. So it chose a moonstone to change John Jameson into a monster. Bloodlusting, the living vampire Michael Morbius, Harry Osborn. You see, this is an annual. You see how they set this up? This is essentially what they do in the fucking annuals, because they obviously weren't hit the fucking deadline. A Punisher. Oh, and then we got a good old Mary Jane. And all his friends like Gloria Grant, and Robbie Robertson, and Joe Robertson, and Flash, and Aunt May's at the old grave, and he feels guilty. So what does he do? He leaves the telescope. Right? What does he see here? Cold night. He's going to steal the telescope, and Spider-Man gets pissed. Oh, wait, doesn't he? Or he leaves it there. Finders keepers, just what my Tommy would love. With this, it won't matter what his friends call him. Pays to work the graveyard shift. And so it goes. Which brings back Rocket fucking Racer. Oh, good God. Next issue is fucking Rocket Racer. So when we come into next issue, we'll be in the middle of the month. And we'll do the team up first, and then Spectacular, and then the fucking Rocket Racer. So that is it for today's class, kids. May fate and faith decide your fortune. If you should enjoy this, make sure to get on over to Faro's Lounge on the Kickstarter and get yourself a brand new book, Arachnophoria. Best shit ever. I just got to play my Russian commercial one more time. I'm very proud of this.
Hey soldiers, there's a new writing textbook available on the Kickstarter, with 2 super sexy 70 spy options, leather and no leather.
Peace.